The human is still asleep. Why are they so fragile? Although, to be fair, I ran them around the city then fed on them afterward. I'm being unfair. Wait, why do I care? They're human. They're just food, right? What is happening to me? Ever since I drank from them, I've acted out of character so many times. I'm being nice to people. Even my thralls around the manor. Ugh. At least them being asleep for a whole 24 hours gave me time to speak with the older vampires. Can't believe a few of them just laughed and said I was going soft. Thankfully, at least Lady Fairchild took the matter seriously. Apparently, my situation isn't wholly unique. A human whose blood affects a vampire's entire being. Their body, their emotions, everything. I'm inclined to agree with her that it's rather a fascinating concept. It wasn't an unpleasant feeling after I bit into them, just overwhelming. Instead of a warmth inside my belly, it was an inferno. And over a day later, I still feel it. And now I have to explain all of this and more to the human when they wake up. I wonder when that will... Yes, what is it, my servant? The human has awoken. Have they? At last! I was starting to worry I'd somehow damaged the human's mind when I controlled them earlier. And now that I think about it, they were surprisingly okay with it. Do they like vampires or something? Thank you. And could you ask Caroline to make her rose petal tea and bring it to the human's room, please? That will be all. Dismissed. You were out far longer than I thought you would be, human. Yes, what you remember wasn't a hallucination or anything. All of that really happened. So, how are you feeling? Doing okay, I hope? How long? About 28 hours. I think the mix of you running around for so long, plus the feeding and my magic, really took a toll on you. The bite mark I gave you is already gone, thankfully, and I'm aware you're probably starving right now. The servants are working on something for you now. Thank you? Oh, no problem. It feels so weird to be thanked by a human. It's not that, just the words thank you are very, very rare to hear. More so from non-vampires. Given that it's normally begging for mercy or cries of terror when it comes to you humans. Now, to get back on track. While we wait for the servant to finish getting you something to eat, let's have that chat I promised we'd have when you woke up. There are a lot of questions to answer, plus ones you'll likely have yourself. Where to even start? Why I spared you? A decent enough starting point, I suppose. What should have happened after I fed on you was that I'd simply erased the memories of you meeting me. You'd wake up later with what feels like a massive hangover and we'd both carry on with our lives. However, your blood was extremely potent. I'd never even heard of the reaction my body had to your blood. Normally, a vampire's body is filled with warmth for a few hours and their eternal hunger is sated for a time. Your blood was like jumping into a sauna. I'm still warm from feeding even a full day later. And that hunger I mentioned? Gone. Completely gone. That's never happened to any vampire I know. It's normally sated for a little while, but it always returns within 12 hours or so. We have a few ideas as to what it was. Yes, I said we. I'm not the only vampire around here, and nowhere near the oldest. There are a good number of us. We do try to keep ourselves mostly out of your mortal world, although that's not always possible, as you can see. My age? 138. As a vampire, anyway. Counting my human years, I'm 210. I'll let you ask about me in a minute. Let's get back to the original topic, please. Okay, where was I? Oh yes, I spared you because what your blood did to me was severely abnormal. If this is something that could affect my kind as a whole, I need to know. So, I asked around the much older and more travelled vampires while you slept. Most just laughed at me, but one did take it seriously. She told me of this thing called a vampire's diamond. Though not the actual name, your human languages don't really have an equivalent, and that's the closest we could get. A vampire's diamond isn't so much a gem, it's a person. One whose blood erases our cursed hunger for an extended period of time, which then lets part of our old selves come back up to the surface. No, not really. I'll always be a vampire. But it's more like giving back parts of our humanity, I guess. Ah, at last. Place that on the table, Caroline. Then you can go back to your normal duties. Here, rose petal tea. You may not like it, but you've got to get something in you. You lost a decent amount of blood, after all. I'm glad you like it, and yes, I've also noticed I'm acting far nicer than most of you humans would expect from a vampire. What you humans think about us is probably half right and half wrong with what you commonly think. I'll try to keep this brief. What you guys get wrong is the running water thing, the getting inviting inside, the no reflections in mirrors. Well, there is one clan that doesn't have reflections, but everyone else does. What you do get right is our strength and speed. Our magic, to an extent. The fact that sunlight will kill us. Not instantly, but prolonged exposure will reduce us to nothing. Holy water, the proper stuff anyway, hurts like hell. Wooden stakes only do things if they hit our hearts, but even then it's just paralysis. Everything else varies per clan, and that takes hours to explain. No, we aren't really meant to tell you all of that. But you are part of this world of darkness now. Sadly, the only true way out is death. I'd personally like to keep you alive, because more often than not, once you humans see our blood-red eyes, it's your time to die. What? What do you mean they were gold? A vampire's eyes turn blood red when we use our powers. Look at mine, human. Gaze upon my red eyes. What? How? A mirror? I need a mirror. I don't believe you. There's no way they... Oh God, they are. This is... I wasn't told about this happening. Great, you've messed with my head and now even my eyes. Though now... I don't know. Looking in the mirror, golden eyes don't look half bad. I could probably get used to this change. The only concrete stuff we know about this supposed diamond is what I mentioned earlier. The diamond in terms of rumours that my fellow vampire has heard, however, is that vampires almost always get very attached to the human they find to be their diamond. Your guess is as good as mine. I've no idea what they mean by attached, and I do believe that series of sounds is your food finishing. Don't worry about not hearing it. My ears are way better than yours. The rest of the tea is yours. I'll get out of the way so that you can eat. Oh, really quick before I forget. Your rules of living here. Not many you need to worry about. 1. You have to do as I say. 2. You aren't allowed to leave the manor grounds. And 3. You can't mention to anyone at all that I'm a vampire. If you do, I'd have to kill you and whoever you talked to. Simple enough, right? And if you needed more encouragement for the last rule, you should know that you have the same enemies as me now. Vampire hunters don't often care for the thralls of a vampire because they wouldn't be able to tell the difference between my servants and you. So please behave yourself. I'd rather not lose my little diamond to those idiots. What's that look for? Yes, I just called you Diamond. I figured you'd prefer a more friendly sounding nickname, rather than getting called Human all the time. Does this make us friends? I guess I wouldn't be opposed to the thought. Having someone not controlled to talk to would be a pleasant change of pace here, admittedly. The servants aren't very talkative. Friends with a human. Sure, why not? Let's give it a try if you're fine with being around a vampire. I wasn't expecting you to actually say yes. Are you into vampires or something? This gets more and more bizarre. I suppose that's true. If I wanted you dead, you already would be. You are starting to fascinate me, my little diamond. Whether that's a good thing or not, we'll find out together, I suppose. But for now, please focus on getting your strength back. I will need to feed on you at some point later. Of course I need to bite you again. Your blood will not stay in my system forever, my little diamond. Okay, this nickname thing I already like. I'm sticking with it whether you want me to or not. But yes, you'll learn more. We need to keep some of your blood in my body, okay? I'll get out of your hair now. Ring the bell if you need one of the servants. Use the whistle next to the bell, however, if you need me. Emergencies only, though. Now, do get some rest after you've eaten. You need to replenish yourself after all. Come and find me if you need me later, okay? We'll talk a little more when you have your energy back. Have a pleasant dinner and a good night, my little diamond.